of our experience of praying at home during quarantine. I'm going to fill just a couple of minutes here as we wait for those who might choose to join us in this time. You might notice my surroundings are a little bit different than they were yesterday. I am working from home as often as possible right now, which means that you're going to hear my neighbor mowing their yard in the background, and my dog might start barking at any minute. Our washing machine is spinning right now. It could get loud. And my kids are at home with me as well. And so who knows if one of them might knock on the door and need something. It's just how, for many of you, life is right now. And it is that way for me as well. It feels a little bit unpredictable, and it feels a little bit out of sorts. And that's okay. That's part of what this experience is going to be like. I had something very specific planned that we were going to practice together, and then as I spent my day one-on-one with several directees, it became obvious to me that we did not need that practice. The practice that we needed together was welcoming prayer. And so that is what we are going to practice here together in the next few minutes. We'll be together for about 10 minutes, and then you are welcome to go on your way from there, so I don't intend to keep you for very long. But I want to give you an opportunity to stop in the middle of your day, to notice how you are, and to settle into the presence of God. And I think that for me, anyway, I need permission to do that very thing right now. It feels like things are happening so quickly around me that I am compelled to stay joined in. And so I just want to give us all permission to step away from the constant news cycle right now, step away from the latest thing that has shifted or changed in your expectations, and move forward in just being present. So, with that in mind, I'd like you to begin with a really deep breath, maybe the deepest one you've had all day. One more time. Our practice today is welcoming prayer, and it's practiced in 3 steps. Step 1 is to name what you are feeling in a moment. In an experience such as the outbreak right now surrounding our communities, I think there are a lot of big feelings that are floating around. I think there is fear. I think there is grief. I think there is anger. And all of these are appropriate. And so I want to give you a moment. Name what you are feeling. Take a deep breath. Work to think about, yes, I use the word think on purpose. What are the emotions you are experiencing right now? If it helps you, here are the 6 basic human emotions, and you can use them kind of like a fill in the blank: mad, sad, glad, afraid, guilt, shame. And so as we breathe for another minute or so, ask yourself, am I feeling mad? Yes or no? Am I feeling sad? Yes or no? And move through the list. We'll breathe here together for about a minute. When you've identified a primary feeling, you might be having a lot of feelings all at one time. That's okay. Choose just one. ask yourself, where is that feeling in my body? So I identify that I am feeling fear, and I can feel it in the tightening in my neck and throat. It feels like it's closing in a little bit. Focus in on that sensation. Just notice what it is. And then step 3 of welcoming prayer is to continue to repeat, welcome fear or anger or sadness. You are in the presence of God. And we continue to pray in this way, repeating that phrase over and over until the physical sensation shifts or changes in some way. This is not an exercise to convince yourself to stop feeling or that what you're feeling is wrong. Instead, this is an exercise to allow us to increase our emotional intelligence and to bring it with us into God's presence. So for the next few moments, my prayer will be, welcome fear, you are in the presence of God. And as I continue to pray in this way, I'm noticing, how does the feeling in my throat or my neck change? We'll rest here together again for another minute. One thing I noticed as I prayed, welcome fear, you are in the presence of God, was that the sensation shifted from my neck or throat area into my shoulders, and I started feeling tension in both of my shoulders. Well, that's a shift. So that's what I was waiting for. If you have longer to sit with this kind of practice, then now you are invited to say, is the feeling the same? Is the feeling different? For me, it's still fear, and now fear has taken up residence in my shoulders. And I'm going to pray with that phrase again. Welcome, fear. You are in the presence of God. It was in the second repetition of the prayer that I felt the fear let go, dissipate. Doesn't mean I won't feel it again in just a few moments, but it does mean that for right now, my emotional state has shifted into one of feeling more calm. Because here's the truth, no feeling will last forever. So allow a feeling to be what it will. It's like a wave. It will peak and then it will drop. And if we can embrace what's happening as it does, acknowledge it for what it is, and then let it go when it's done. I think this is a good practice. You can use it anytime, anywhere. It can last as short a time as 45 seconds and as long a time as several minutes. But I hope it's a tool that's helpful to you, especially in this season of uncertainty that we find ourselves in. Until I see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock, in the same time, my prayer is that you will know the peace of Christ, which passes all understanding. May it guard your heart and your mind. May you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are loved. I'll see you tomorrow.